All the guns you'll be seeing today are available on solware.co.uk, based in Tamworth. Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's test and review day with our Walthrer Rotex RM8 UC in 177. We've unboxed it, we've had a good look around it, we've pellet tested it, we've decided that it will be matched with the JTS dead centres in 8.7 grain. Now it's all about is what's its accuracy like, what's its power like, and what do I genuinely think of the gun, and would I buy one. So how we'll do this is we have our 135 test, as we call it. We call it that because that's the maximum score you can get is 135. First two cards you need, on the first card, 5 bullseyes. That will get you 10 points each, so that's 50 points. On the second card you need to get 5 shots in the bullseye. That will get you another 50 points. And then we'll go on to our third card, which is called the rings, and you will need to do 35 points off that. The big rings at the top, there's 4 of those are worth 5 points each. And then we've got what we call our bonus shot, which is just over the size of a pellet, and if you hit that one you get the bonus 15 points, giving you 135. Then we'll put it over the chronograph for 5 shots. We'll give it an average score over that, put it through our ballistic calculator and see how we get on, see what power it's pushing out, and then finally I'll give you a review. The distance that we're shooting at today is 23 metres, in case anybody's wondering. I know it's a big question that everybody seems to keep asking. I do try and mention it in as many videos as possible. But anyway, shall we crack on? Shall we get the Walthrer Rotex out there? Okay then, let's begin. Before we kick off, I would fancy this to be a 135 gun. If it fails today, it's me. This has only got a 3B9B40 Hawk scope on, but that's plenty enough for this gun, because if you point in the right direction it's going to hit, I will be honest with you. So I'm expecting a 135. If it fails, yeah, you can all go and blame me, and I've said that before we start. Here we go. Shot 1. And I've missed. Right, shot 2. Perfect. Shot 3. Missed again. Shot 4, perfect. Shot 5. Perfect. Now, can we get the 5 in the bullseye? The last one in this magazine. That's 3 already in there. Can we continue with the next ones? Two more. Right, we'll go and count up and get our third card in. Right, 96 so far. We're in the red rings now on this third card. Not done as well as I thought, but as I said, I put that down to me, not the gun. It's me who's probably not the best shot, and I'll openly admit that. But anyway, let's see whether we can still get a good score. Miss. In. Hit. Hit. On the last one now, the bonus shot. He's just in, so I think that's the score, if I remember right. 126. We class 110 as a pass. 126 all in, not a bad score. I would have expected better. I'm blaming myself straight away because I think this gun is a fantastic bit of kit, and without probably a wobbly-handed person like me, would have done a 135. Anyway, let's go and see how powerful it is. Let's get it over the chronograph. Okay, 5 shots over the chronograph for power. Let's just see how we do. Shot 1. Two, 1. Shot 2. 2, 2. Shot 3. 220. Shot 4. 217. And the last one, 219. So between 217 and 221, we'll give it 219. Let's have a see what that says. Well, shockingly there, didn't do very well on power, and it seemed to me like it was pumping out plenty enough power, but apparently not. The projectile weight was 8.7 grains, being the JTS dead centre. That gave us a velocity in feet when turned down from 219 metres to 718.5 feet per second. Calculated all that up, it gave us a power output of 9.98 foot-pounds and an energy expressed in joules of 13.52. So not really what we was expecting, but there seems to be plenty enough power there. It's very hard to understand. I'm not sure if my chrono is playing up, to be honest with you, because most of the guns I've tested just lately have been around that 10 foot-pound mark, which I can't see being right, but anyway, that's what it's done today. And finally, as they say, what did you think of it? Well, I'm a lover of the Walthrer Rotex, so I've got to be honest with you. I've had 3 or 4 in now, and they're always a solid competitor in anything you do. They're always there or thereabouts. Take the score that it did today, even though it was a 126, it has got a smaller scope on. If I fitted a bigger scope on and redid that, I think it'd be a 135. It should have been a 135 today. It's the nut behind the butt's fault, but I'll honestly admit that. Power wise, again, I was expecting it to be a lot more powerful than that, and I'm not sure if my chrono is playing up, but I'm going to take it as read that it's 10 foot-pound. It's right on the limit of where you'd say is acceptable. You would like to see above 10 foot-pound as a normal rule, but okay, we'll give it what it says. Besides that, everything that you get with the gun as it comes is done exceptionally well. The bolt action is lovely. There is gripes, as with any gun. My major gripe is the 8-shot mag. In 177, I'm sure you could have afforded to run to a 10-shot, to be fair. I'm sure there'd have been enough space there for at least 10 shots. The barrel on this is what makes the gun what it is. The Walthrer barrel is absolutely spot on. Now, because this being new, that may be why it's so low down on power as well, because it will be choked to high heaven. So yeah, that could be a reason, but the barrel on these is spot on. Even though it's the compact version, which has got the shorter barrel, it is still there. If you point in the right direction, it's going to hit. Now, as I say, this is only a 3B9B40 scope. Usually when I do the test and reviews on the gun, I will be using the normal Nico Sterling, which is 4B16B50 if I remember right. So obviously it's not had the magnification as it normally would, and it's not had the bigger view of the targets that I would normally have. But yeah, I guarantee you this would have scored higher. I think it's a 135 gun all day long. Put in the hands of the right person, not me. As I've showed you today, I'm not the best of shots by far. a little bit shaky due to the nerve damage I have in my back, and I know that I do a shaky shot every now and again, and that's totally my fault, and when I do it I try to admit it as much as I can. No point in hiding it. The silencer on this works really well, you can hardly hear it. I believe it's a Walthrer supplied one, and it works really well with the gun. The hand grip is perfectly situated and done really well. Although this is a synthetic one, and usually in synthetic ones you do get a few little rough edges every now and again, you can tell this has been finished to a good standard. Plenty of grip underneath the bottle and here around the hand grip. Don't expect it to be light, it's not light. Even though it's short and compact, it still has a fair bit of weight there. The weight seems to be more, I would say, towards the front end than the back. Probably does balance quite well central there as you would like it, but I would guess this gun's got to be over 6 pounds in weight. So yeah, it's quite a heavy gun. Mated with a good scope, you'll have plenty of good times with this gun out hunting or just doing a little bit of target shooting. It is sub £500, it's one of the class acts out there, I've got to be honest with you. There's quite a few now of the sub £500 guns that I really like. I like this. I also like the Krell MPO2, the Krell MPO3. I also very much like the Reximex, the name will come to me in a minute. I've had quite a few of them. It's more or less the same copy as the MPO2, you'll know which one I'm talking about. But yeah, there are some good sub £500 guns there. I also like the Krell Puncher Maxi, very good gun. Yeah, there's quite a few sub £500 guns out there at the moment that will do you a good day. You know, you'll have a fantastic day out with them. There's some there that are probably best avoided, I will give you, but you know, you're dabbling really at £500, you're sort of taking a chance of what you get. There's always that chance, of course, that you will get a Friday afternoon gun in, you know, no matter what you buy. But I do seem to think that these are obviously German made and made really well, and I've not had a bad one yet, so these are probably, if you want to take the sort of that chance out of it of buying a gun, these are probably the ones to go for. The buddy bottle on these is plenty good enough for a day out shooting. If you're doing a little bit of walking around, I would suggest that this gun is used for that, is for a walk around gun. Bit heavier, but it'd be fine over your shoulder on a sling. And if I remember right, yeah, I think you can fit studs to these quite easily to put a sling on, so no problem there. All in all, with the Walthrer Rotex RM8, what you get is sort of like a reliability and a knowing that you've got a decent gun that's going to do a job for you, even though it's not an expensive gun. I say not expensive, £500 is a lot for a gun, I know, but in airgun terms now, especially PCP, you would say medium range is about the £800–900 mark really, and the ones that go above that like obviously an higher spec. But if you're looking for a gun that's on that lower end of the scale of the market, probably worth saving for one of these. There's a reason, as I say, if you look at the hunting channels, that a lot of people do still use these and do think quite highly of them. It's because they are a exceptional all-rounder. They do a little bit of everything. I've let the gun down today, my own shooting, and also with the setup. If I'd have put a bigger scope on this, I have no doubt at all it would have achieved a higher score. I was really confident in it, to be honest with you, because when I was testing out for the pellet testing on this gun, I was hitting bullseye after bullseye. I thought 135 all day long this gun, but it wasn't to be. But don't let that put you off, and don't let that be your decider on this gun. Trust me on it, you're getting a quality item with it. It is worth a punt, and it's worth saving those few extra pound. If you're thinking of spending around £300–400 on a gun, it's worth saving those few extra pennies for one of these, I would say. All that said and done, would I buy one? yes, I bought 4 or 5 of these and I really do enjoy them. And the other thing is, when I decide to move them on, because like I need to review another gun, they don't seem to hang around very long. People do like them. I shall probably put this one up for sale shortly, and yeah, it'll fly out the door as normal. I've got no doubts about that. But all in all, an outstanding gun for the money, I think, the Walthrer Rotex RM8, especially in this 177 version, which seems as accurate as all the other ones really I've had. But if you need a nice little 177 for a little bit of walk around, this is your gun. Thank you all for watching. See you all soon in the next one. Bye bye.